Transport and communications infrastructure, homes and businesses all suffered power cuts this evening in large parts of the country. Blackouts to London and the South East, as well as the Midlands, the South West and Wales, the North East and North West of England too. Let's go first to Anya Pop for the nationwide picture. Well, what's happened?
Up and down the country, there's reports of the power going out for minutes and longer. Western Power, which supplies the Midlands, the South West and Wales, have called it a major incident. Northern Power Grid in the North East and Yorkshire say 110,000 customers lost power. And UK Power Networks, who control power lines for London and the South East, also confirmed widespread outages.
There's been a massive power outage in Brazil that left tens of millions of people without electricity. In total, 6 states were hit, including the country's biggest cities, Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro.
Brazil's had blackouts before, but the scale of this is extraordinary. This affected pretty much almost the southern half of Brazil, according to one report. An estimated 50 million people, a quarter of the population of Brazil, were affected by this. It triggered alarm in the population. I mean, Brazil at night isn't usually that safe, and there was a major fear of crime, enough for police to urge citizens in the biggest cities that were affected, Sao Paulo and Rio, to stay indoors.
Power supply in parts of Yishun, it went down at 4:30.
Those still experiencing disruption should reset their building's internal network.
LAX was literally in the dark last night. A power bump at the airport resulted in the loss of power and lots of canceled flights. So Frank Elleridi is at LAX with more. Frank?
I'm Frank Elleridi here at Terminal 1 of LAX, where only moments ago passengers were allowed to re-enter the terminal after having to go through a re-screening process due to a power outage at LAX last night.
A massive blackout left all of mainland Argentina, Uruguay and Paraguay without power on Sunday. An unexplained failure in the country's electrical interconnection system left more than 48 million people without power.
The subways aren't even working. You can't even recharge your transit card to ride the bus. And you can't get around if you don't have a car.
We were just with my grandmother and we had to help her down the stairs because the elevator wasn't working. Everything is closed and there's no movement in the street.
Today's record-breaking heat wave in Paris delayed trains, left passengers stranded, and even affected the power grid. This nuclear plant in southern France shut down 2 reactors due to the heat. Paris prepared with temporary solutions.
More than 300,000 people are without power this evening from Wisconsin all the way to New York City, thousands in Brooklyn.
Saya henti di stasiun Sudirman BNI City. Di stop mendadak mati itu, keretanya mendadak stop. Nah, di situ kita lama nunggu sampai kacanya dibuka sedikit. Karena banyak bayi kan, ada bayi pada teriak-teriak, pada minta buka pintu. Akhirnya kita turun di stasiun di Sudirman BNI City itu kita turun di situ.
Jadi dibuka oleh orang dari kereta.
Dari kereta tuh disuruh turun di belakang Bu, karena di belakang tuh nyambung masih ke stasiun. Jadi kita turun semua.
Ahorita se acaba de ir la luz y caminando de verdad que me queda sumamente lejos. Las camionetas, es muy poco el transporte que hay ahorita y el tomar una camioneta ahorita a estas alturas es imposible.
Another night in the dark as a nationwide power cut leaves millions without electricity. Lights were out in more than half of Venezuela's 23 states, including the capital, Caracas. Cancelled metro stations and disabled traffic lights caused huge traffic jams, forcing people to find other ways to commute.
As a citizen, I feel bad, terrible, abandoned because there is no contingency plan. Look, we're all walking. There are people who do not know how they're going to get home.
The The country's main airport was also in the dark, leaving hundreds of travelers stranded. The government blames the blackout on some of its opponents, who it says sabotaged a power station.
And they can blame whoever they want to blame. This is God, and this is planet hell, what people call Nibiru. It is out there. It is what I exposed them on their lies, saying that the ACCUSES is heating up our planet, when this thing has been out there the whole time, heating and cooling our planet. This thing had one hot side and one cold side. It's just like California's hottest desert versus Alaska. It has a hot side and a cold side on it. And so this is what God said is going to rain down the brimstones and the meteorites on this earth. This is what the earth is going to sink down to. So earth, which is hell, is going to be thrown in the lake of fire. That thing right there. And so basically it is knocking out the transformers all over the place. So it lights up in the sky just like you saw. Then the transformers start blowing out. Light up right there. Transformers blow out. And every time you see it light up in the sky, bam, transformers start blowing out. Electromagnetic energy is blowing these damn transformers out. So that electrical energy from that planet is affecting the electrical energy on this planet. And not only that, it is heating up our planet in the triple digits now. Places is smoldering with heat. And so we're going to show you an up and close and personal right here. The transformer is right there, already being agitated by Nibiru, planet hell. And then Nibiru lights up right there, and it's going to light up bright. And then bam, the transformers start acting fucking nutty. That's what's knocking out the powers. As this thing flies over, it knocks out the power, and then pretty soon, lights out worldwide. God takes his people. This is Rap the News.